welcome back to my channel. My name is Remi. Thanks for tuning in. On my channel I discuss on faith, lifestyle and development. So if you're interested in any of those things, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So this video is going to be, a chit chat type video, and this topic is something that we've all heard in our lives. We've all heard growing up, and we say it, but I just wanted to talk about it more on this channel and just kind of delve into it and dive into it and really dissect it. And it's comparison is truly the thief of joy. Like we say it's the thief of joy, it truly is, and I just wanted to kind of talk about the whole idea of comparison, why we do it as human beings. I think it's a human nature, and how to stop it pretty much. So I have some key points that I wanted to share and kind of just talk about in this video. And the first is like I said, comparison is a thief of joy, and it leads to so many things. The moment you start to compare your life to another person's life, you're setting up yourself to fail pretty much, and it leads to jealousy, it leads to envy. You can't truly be happy for someone if you're comparing your life to their life. You cannot be happy for them because it's always going to be one up. You're always going to think that person is ahead of you. You're always going to think that person is doing better than you. And you can't be happy for someone who you're comparing yourself with. It's just, it doesn't work that way. And this is, I feel like, what everyone struggles with at some point, in their life. And it's just, knowing that it's a human nature, and to catch yourself and be very self-aware that comparison is terrible. No one should do it. It's not needed. And let's figure out a better way to help ourselves, if you know what I mean. And I think that one advice I'll give is, if you're finding yourself to be comparing yourself to someone and you think the person is doing better than you, or you're always trying to figure out what they're doing that you're not doing, whatever it is, just turn it into a motivation, turn it into an inspiration. Be inspired by people. If they're doing great things that you think you're not doing, learn from them. I think I saw a meme on IG, I can't remember, and it was saying something along the lines of, a lot of times we don't improve or we don't learn because we're too jealous of somebody. We can't even ask them, oh, how did you do that? Can I learn from that? Nope, we're just over there. And I was like, what, that meme is actually accurate. Instead of comparing your life or being envious or being jealous of somebody, learn from them. What are they doing, that is making them great? And you can learn, a thing or two, and, apply to yourself and be inspired and do better. So, comparison is just terrible. And also, I want to talk about the dangers of comparison. So when you start to compare yourself, self-doubt kicks in. You start to think you're not good enough. You start to think you're never going to be up to par. And, it's going to cause you constant unhappiness. Because if you're never, content with where you are and what God is doing in your life, you will never be happy. It's not a cause. You will never be happy. So, it causes constant unhappiness. It's not a sustainable behavior, right? Because let's think about it. If you start comparing yourself to your peers at a very young age, it's not sustainable, because you will continue to do that for the rest of your life if you're not careful, if you don't catch yourself. So, for example, you're younger. You're comparing yourself to your friend in your class, in school, that's doing better than you. You think is doing better than you because she has better grades. You just happen to know that she has better grades than you. Now you're sad. Now you're feeling down. Now your self-esteem is low. Your self-confidence is low because you believe, this girl is doing better than me. And then you're sad. And then that's school, right? That's for when you're younger. And then you get older. Somebody's getting married before you. You're the same age, but the person's getting married before you, and you start to compare. How can that person that I'm the same age be, getting married before me? Even if the person is younger than you, you still compare yourself. I'm older than this person, and this person's getting married before me. Comparison kills, literally. Or you get married at the same time with somebody else, and that person, they're, you know, in their marriage, they have like 2 kids after like 3 years. After 3 years, you guys don't have 1 kid. You start to compare yourself that, you know, we got married at the same time. Our anniversary is literally the same time. Our wedding anniversary is the same time. They have 2 kids already. We don't have any kids. And then you're sad. That causes a problem in your family. You know, now you're miserable because you feel like, my life sucks, or, you know, I don't have what they have. Or, you know, you got married at the same time as somebody else. You know, at the time, you know, y'all got married, everyone was living in an apartment. Now the couple that got married at the same time as you, they are buying their own house and moving into their own mansion. Y'all are still living in the apartment. You start to compare. We got married at the same time. They just moved into their house. Did you see their house? It's a big house. We're still living in an apartment. What is that comparison? What is that comparison going to do to your life? What exactly is it going to do to your existence other than make you miserable, make you mad, make you upset, and now you're down, and, you know, you can't even be genuinely happy for people that are buying their house, because now you're comparing that, we got married at the same time, so we should be buying a house at the same time. We should be having kids at the same time. Also, you know, it's always going to be something in life, right? So, you know, somebody buys a car better than your car, you're comparing. Someone, you know, gave birth to 3 boys, you gave birth to 3 girls, now you're comparing. Why? Please help me and understand. Let's stop comparing our lives, you know, just stop it. You know, another one is, you know, somebody's going on vacation, you know, with their spouse or with their family, and, you know, y'all don't go on vacation as much because for whatever reason, you're comparing your life to their life. Why? You know, there's always going to be something, even up until retirement. If somebody retires, you know, you're going to ask, so what are you doing after you retire? Whatever it is that they say they're doing sounds exciting and you're not doing it. You'll be like, you know, but we're going to retire the same time. Oh, come on, guys. It never ends. Just stop comparing yourselves to other people. Just stop it, because it's never going to end, and it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable, and it just leads you to live a very unhappy life. You know, it messes with your self-esteem. It messes with your self-confidence. You don't want that, right? So those are the dangers of comparing yourself to other people, comparing yourself to your peers, your friends, your colleagues, whatever it is. Those are the dangers of comparing yourself. And also, I wanted to mention that trust your process, trust your journey. Everyone's unique. I'm unique. My life is unique. Your life is unique. We're all unique in the eyes of God, right? So trust your process, trust your journey. If I'm doing certain things in my life at the age of, I don't know, let's just say 25, and you're also 25 and you're not doing that thing, it's perfectly fine. Trust your journey, trust your process. So far as you're doing what you're supposed to do, you're not being lazy, you're not just, you know, slacking and not paying attention to what you should be doing and living out your purpose. So far as you're doing what you're supposed to do, leave the rest to God. Just trust your process. Trust that, okay, this is my life, this is my track, I'm doing what I need to do, I'm living out my purpose. That should be it, really. That really should be it. You know, it shouldn't be any more than that, right? So, but the fact that you start to compare what you're doing in your chapter 25 versus what somebody is doing in their chapter 25, or versus what someone is doing in their chapter 30, you're setting up yourself to fail. And it's just trust your process. Trust your process. Because if not, you will hate yourself, right? And project that hate to others. So think about it, right? If you're comparing your life to another person's life, right, and you're sad, you know, you feel like the person is doing better than you, you're gonna start to hate yourself because you feel like you're not doing well for yourself. And then it messes with your self-confidence. And then without you knowing it, that hatred, that hatred that you have, that you're starting to build towards yourself, you start to project it to others. So for whatever reason, that doesn't even require any insult. You know, if someone says something and you're already jealous of them because you're comparing your life to them, it shows. The hatred will show from how you deal with them. You can't be happy for them. You try to, double down on their success. We're like, oh, she didn't deserve that. She didn't work hard for that. I know what she did to get that. No. So I think just, trusting your path in life. Be self-aware that your path is different from somebody else's path, and that's perfectly okay. That's perfectly okay. So yeah, just to put it in a nutshell, once again, certain things you can do to reverse from the comparison disease. Literally, it's a disease, and it's be self-aware. Know who you are, right? Know who you are, know what you stand for, know what your life is about, and if you find that, you like what somebody else is doing, you can be inspired, turn it around. So instead of jealousy and envy and hatred towards somebody because, you feel they're doing better than you, that's the time to get inspired. Be inspired, learn, literally be inspired, learn from them, ask them questions, figure out how to, get some of that success to be rubbed off on you. Don't be envious of them, because you can't learn from someone you're jealous of. It's just not gonna work. So be self-aware, turn whatever it is that you're feeling or you feel someone's better than you, and turn that into a motivation or inspiration. Trust your process. Write down your goals. Why are you doing certain things? Are you doing it for yourself, or are you doing it for others to, validate you? What's the motive behind what you're doing? Live your life. Don't try to live somebody else's life. Don't try to live somebody else's life. Don't try to live out somebody else's purpose. You're gonna flunk. As individuals, as children of God, we all have a unique purpose in life. I cannot fulfill your purpose. You cannot fulfill my purpose. So at the end of the day, do what you need to do. Fulfill your own purpose. Stop looking at another person's purpose, wishing it was your purpose. No. God created us. We all have our purpose on earth, right? I will live out mine. You should live out yours too. When I'm living out mine, don't get jealous of me. Don't compare your life to my life. Don't compare your purpose to my purpose. Your purpose is great. My purpose is also great. If we can just understand that as humans, life will be so much easier. But I feel like a lot of times we're always trying to be one up, trying to compare our life to somebody else's life. Let's stop it. It's really not necessary. And I just wanted to talk about, some of the things I've heard Pastor Rick Warren say, right? He says, we're all unique, right? God's plan for your life is good. God's plan for your life is unique. It's an insult to God if I am not happy with what God is doing in my life, because I feel like he's doing something better in someone else's life and my life is not doing much. It's an insult to God, because I'm practically telling God that, you know what, God, you could have done my better. You did so and so is, so's life, much better than me, and what are you doing with my life? It's an insult to God, and we don't want that. Trust your uniqueness. Trust your purpose. I also, wanted to reference one of the things that Pastor Rick says about God has enough resources, abundant resources, literally. And if we're thinking that, somebody else is getting everything, what I'm supposed to get, they've gotten it. What was mine? They have it. They have all the success. They have all the money. They have all the opportunities that I want, that I have. I'm not getting it because they're getting it. You're practically telling God that, okay, God, your resources, if you don't give it to me on time, it's going to run out, and it looks like you're giving it to somebody else while I'm here stuck. It's an insult to God, because God has enough. He has enough to go around. So don't worry about how God is blessing somebody else. He's going to bless you too. Focus on your focus. Focus on your purpose. Focus on your life. Trust your process. Trust your journey. It's so important. And I also wrote down that if you compare yourself to someone else's life, right? If you compare your life and your uniqueness to somebody else's uniqueness, you're literally selling yourself short and denying yourself and doing yourself a disservice. So literally, you're selling yourself short and doing yourself a disservice the moment you start to compare your life to somebody else's life. Because I can be all that God wants me to be, but I can't be what God wants you to be. You can't be what God wants me to be. So if you're trying to be what God wants me to be, you're wasting your time, because you're not going to do it as well as I will do it, and I will not do what you're supposed to do as well as you will do it. So at the end of the day, I'm doing myself a disservice if I try to do that, and I'm also selling myself short. We don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want that. So I think that let's just keep in mind that at the end of the day, comparison is truly the thief of joy. Let's try not to compare our lives to each other. Just enjoy what God is doing in your life. Let me also enjoy what God is doing in my life. You know what I mean? Because we can't really enjoy what God is doing in our lives if we just spend our whole life looking at what the other person is doing. It's not good at all. We always say, the grass always looks greener on the other side, but literally your grass is fine too. It's green. It's just, but the moment we start to compare, you find something. Someone is always going to be doing better than you, and then it makes you like sad. You can feel like someone is not doing as good as you, and then you feel like you're better than somebody else. Come on, let's just all do what we need to do. Face your front, literally focus on your focus, and just enjoy life, man. Life is sweet. Like, life is sweet. I've been chilling. Just focus on what God is doing in your life and appreciate what God is doing in your life, and you'll be perfectly fine. There's this song, Comparison Kills, I believe is the title of the song, by Jonathan. I forget the last name. I'll try to insert his name here. That song is so apt. Look up the lyrics of that song, and you know what I'm talking about. Comparison literally kills, and just let's not do it. Let's not do it at all. So yeah, I hope I was able to touch up on the points that I was gonna make about this whole idea, and just how we as individuals can just live our lives, enjoy our lives, be happy for people when they're doing well, learn from people when they're doing well, so that you can do well and you can enjoy your life as well, and everyone can be happy. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to share in this chit chatty video. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's free to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.